First, you need to set your goal. It is not to do 500 lead code problems or to do 1000 lead code problems in this amount of time, but to reach a point where you can read any problem and quickly map it to a known pattern and implement a clean solution in 20 to 30 minutes. Secondly, explain it clearly in case of interviews or teamwork. DSA is about patterns, not memorizing answers. Okay, this is a very important point I want to make. I've been asked by many people that if I'm going into machine learning, do I need DSA? The answer is 100% yes. DSA is needed for any machine learning engineer or AI engineer jobs you want in your life. So it is a non-negotiable for all internships, all jobs, unless it's strictly research-based, which many of you don't want. You want to become an engineer, you want to go into machine learning field, you want to stay relevant. So you need DSA, you need coding. Let's divide our learning path into phases. Phase 0, it's the programming basics. You'll need 1 to 3 weeks to master this. If you're not yet comfortable with coding, learn syntax of any one language. I'd pick Python or C++. And let me make this clear once and for all. Programming language does not matter. I've myself appeared for tons of online assessments and I've given tons of interviews. And there is option of both Python and C++ always, 100% of the time. That being said, Python is easier learning curve compared to C++, but both works. I personally did both. Whatever language you choose, get solid with variables, loops, conditionals, functions, arrays, lists, strings, input, output. Now comes the phase 1, which is foundations of DSA. It will take you 2 to 4 weeks to master this. Here I deeply learn what the core structures are and why they exist. Core topics include time and space complexity, big O, O1, O log n, On log n, On square. Learn by comparing. For example, linear search versus binary search. Best resource honestly here is Abdul Bari's playlist. I love it. And when I was first starting out in my first year as well, I referred to this a lot. And overall, start learning from Geeks for Geeks. Geeks for Geeks explains the concepts really well with visual examples. And if you're getting stuck, then use Neat Code free YouTube playlist on the concept that you are searching for. And he explains really well. Basic data structures, arrays, dynamic arrays, vector list, linked list, singly and doubly, conceptually, stack, queue, hash map, dictionary, unordered map, set. These are basically all the data structures you will ever need. Just search any topic on Geeks for Geeks and then check out the basic problems, easy problems, medium problems and hard problems and solve all of them. That is honestly the best way to learn the concept based on the order of problems that you solve and how you are able to understand the concept. Next comes searching and sorting. So binary search on array and on answer space. And sorting algorithms conceptually, merge sort, quick sort, bubble sort, selection sort, that's it. How I'd study? For each data structure, learn the concept and the use case from Geeks for Geeks. Implement it once or twice based on the easy and the very basic problems from Geeks for Geeks. And once you have done with this, then solve all the questions from easy, from medium and from hard in that order. So as you're learning DSA, start focusing on machine learning and data science at the same time because this boosts your chances of getting a job tremendously. Out of curiosity, I started researching what's really helping freshers land jobs these days, especially without those fancy degrees or prior experience. While scrolling through reviews and testimonials, internshala placement courses kept popping up. There was this one particular review that really stood out to me. So that's when basically I started diving deep into the course and I found that it's really amazing. There's 100% placement assistance and you get refund of course fee if you are not placed within 6 months of graduating from this course. That's really awesome. There's dual certification, one industry recognized certificate from Internshala trainings and one certificate from NSDC and Skill India government. It's beginner friendly, no prior knowledge is needed and live bootcamp is there which helps students to apply all the skills learned to be ready for interviews and job. Definitely sign up and enroll now and get your career started in data science field. And honestly, as you can see, the alumni are placed in many brands like Amazon, Flipkart, Pepperfry, Deloitte, EY, TCS, Infosys, Wipro and etc. Phase 2 comes the core problem solving patterns. It takes 1 to 2 months to master this. This is where I'd spent most of my time. The key is to learn patterns, not individual questions. Learn the core patterns in this rough order. First, 2 pointers. Extremely important concept. One question in interviews or in online assessment is always based on this topic. Typical problems include remove duplicates from sorted array, reverse string or array in place, and pair sum in sorted array, and move zeros. Take a note of these patterns that I'm talking about. Next comes sliding window. Typical problems include longest substring without repeating, max sum subarray of size k, and minimum window substring. Very important, focus on these patterns and do not forget these patterns. Next comes hashing or hash maps. When do you use it? When you need frequency or fast membership or pair sums. Typical problems include two-sum, of course, very famous. First unique character, group anagrams. Now comes prefix sums and difference arrays. When do you use it? Many range queries or repeated sum over ranges. Next comes recursion and backtracking. When to use it? When there are permutations, subsets, combinations, paths. Typical problems include subsets combinations, K combinations, combination sum, n queens, and Sudoku solver, which is the classic one. Now comes the most important topic and honestly my favorite topic, which is dynamic programming. Why is it my favorite? Because I used to struggle so much in my third semester when I was first trying to learn DP. I used to study so many playlists and trying to understand the concept again and again, and I used to fail terribly at it. But then, when I found out the perfect roadmap and the perfect order of doing this, finally I was able to master it. And now it is honestly my favorite topic. So, basic DP, start with one dimensional DP, then with 2D. One dimensional DP is easiest. Typical starter problems include Fibonacci, most famous, top down or bottom up, climbing stairs, house robber, 0 or 1 knapsack, which is conceptually very important. Next comes greedy algorithms. When to use it when there's local optimal choice leads to global optimal. Often in many problems you are going to get confused whether to use greedy or DP. Definitely try out greedy first because greedy will give you lower time complexity, but DP will give you higher time complexity. But again, there are often quite complicated questions that can be asked whether it's greedy or DP. You have to be good at understanding it. So try a lot of problems on this. Typical problems include activity selection problem, interview scheduling problem, fractional knapsack problem, minimum number of platforms or merge intervals. How I would practice in this phase? Pick one pattern per week. Watch 1 to 2 solid explanations, either NeetCode or Abdul Bari or Geeks for Geeks. Geeks for Geeks also have video solutions, definitely check that out. Solve 3 to 5 easy problems to understand the pattern, 3 to 5 medium problems to stretch it. Now the timeline. For each problem, I would try for 20 to 30 minutes, not more than that. If stuck, read only the hint, not the full solution. If still stuck, read the solution slowly, rewrite it in my own words, and re-implement it from memory. Now comes phase 3, which is very important, full focus mode. Advanced data structures and algorithms, it's going to take you 1 to 2 months to master this. Once the patterns feel natural, you can start applying for interviews and online assessments. But now you're going to see that in companies that you really want to enter, like Google, like Microsoft, like Uber, like Netflix, they are going to have tough online assessments. So the topics include trees, binary trees, tree traversals, pre-order, in-order, post-order, level order, binary search trees, BST properties and operations. Common problems include height of tree, diameter of tree, LCA, lowest common ancestor, very common, one of my personal favorites. Validate BST and path sum problems. I highly recommend using Codeforces for solving tree problems because tree and graph problems are the best on Codeforces. Now comes graphs. So you need to learn the representations of graphs, adjacency list, matrix, traversals, DFS, BFS. Typical problems include connected components, detect cycle, directed or undirected, shortest path, BFS for unweighted, Dijkstra for weighted. Now comes more DP, that is two-dimensional DP. Longest common subsequence, edit distance, matrix path problems, knapsack style variants, all these are super important. Heaps and priority queues. This is also very important and often many questions I've seen in online assessments are based on this. When to use it? When you always need the smallest or largest element efficiently. Now of course the phase 4, set timed sessions. 60 to 90 minutes, do 2 to 4 problems, 1 easy warm-up, 2 mediums and 1 hard. Definitely appear for lead code contests or Codeforces contests regularly in the final week before you're giving the online assessment or your interviews. Now I would like to tell you about the mistakes I did when I was preparing and mistakes I would like to avoid if I had the option to start over. Random problem grinding. This is a problem that many people face. I used to jump around problems with no pattern in mind, and that affected me a lot and that costed me my confidence. Zero review. Old me would solve once and forget. And then when I saw the question again in the interview and I was like, I knew it, but I forgot. New me actively resolve tough problems a few days later. That's when they stick. And that's when you actually recognize the patterns when you see a slightly different problem in contests or in assessments. Now comes a fun fact, and I'm really willing to help you all. If you are happy, I am happy. I do regular 1:1 career consultations, and if you tell me your current level, absolute beginner, know one language, already solving some problems, your preferred language, how many hours you can give per day or week, what's your background, I can turn this into a concrete 4 to 8 week plan with topic by topic and problem count suggestions. Definitely write in the comments your journey and where you are at presently, and I'll help you out. I'll write the full roadmap in the comments.